Hey friends, it's Andy Nazaroff with the Nazaroff team for this week's Real Estate Corner. And it's not uncommon that we have a conversation with somebody thinking about buying a home and we discover that they're waiting to fix their credit, to pay off some bills, to save some money, or you name it, and they haven't connected with a lender yet. And I don't know if you know this, but that's a mistake. It's like building a house without a blueprint. What do I do next? If this works, well, what if it doesn't work? And there's actually some mistakes that you can make if you haven't connected with the lender, had them do a deep dive into your situation and give you that blueprint. So today, as a special treat, we've interviewed our lending partner, Cynthia Reynoso, to ask her as an expert, hey, what about these different circumstances? So take a look.
It's important to use that term that you're using, lending conversation. I think that people often don't make that distinction. They think of it as a pass or a fail, loan approval. They don't think of it in terms of just a conversation, and that's really what it is. So if someone's thinking of purchasing a home in the next 1 to 2 years, they should absolutely reach out and start that conversation just to say, what are my options? What would I be eligible for? What should I do? What are my next steps? They should not hesitate. So someone who has collections, that does not preclude you from purchasing a home. That would not count you out at all. You want to definitely talk to the professional and don't even worry about those things. There are many loan programs that allow collections. There are eligibility timelines to where you just wait a certain amount of time, or there's sometimes things that we can recommend and things that you can do to overcome those credit challenges. So the best thing to do is not to hold back or worry about it or feel embarrassed, or not to even put it out of your mind, but just to come forward and say, hey, this is what I've got going on. What should I do? And again, it's about starting that conversation to say, this is what I've got going on. What do I need to do about it? You would be so surprised how often people say, they're getting started and they say, okay, we're gonna pull the credit. And then they say, oh, but it's not gonna be good. I'm not gonna qualify. It won't work. I'm not gonna qualify, but just tell me what to do. Just give me a plan, which is what we do. So if the credit needs work or needs fixing, or there's little steps we can have you take, we give them a plan. So if they're gonna buy a year and 2 years, we say, okay, these are your directed steps to take. But you would be surprised how many people start the conversation that way and they walk out of the office with a letter of approval going to shop for a home, just completely shocked, not even prepared, thinking that they're just gonna be, head hanging down, tail between their legs, walking out of the office. But no, we send them on their way saying, hey, go buy a house, get to shopping. So that you'd really honestly be surprised how often that happens. Credit doesn't run on logic. So most often people just do their best with their credit. And unfortunately, best practices as far as credit and really how the FICO score is derived is really not out there. It's not available to people as, one chunk of information, this is what to do, ABC. It's not out there. So when people come to us saying, oh, I've fixed my credit or I've been working on it, often they're not doing the things that will benefit FICO score. They're maybe paying off debts, which, instant gratification makes us feel good. But paying off a debt is not always the best thing to do for FICO score. You can quite simply, as a simple example, you could, if you have a $500 extra that you're thinking, okay, I've saved this, I'm gonna put it towards credit card debt. So you take that $500 and you pay a card $500 down. If you're able to, instead of doing that, allow us to review the credit and give you direction, quite often it's more beneficial to take that same $500 and maybe put $250 on this card and $250 on that card. Or to put, 100 here and 400 there, and we're gonna get you 50 FICO points. Whereas doing what you were going to do could decrease your score or it might get you 10 points. So it's just about seeking the information to optimize the FICO boost. There's truly no good reason to wait whatsoever. People create reasons in their mind, but really it's always fear-based. There's no good reason to not seek information. So at any time, if you're thinking about doing something, taking action in some way, it is best to seek the information. Make the call and say, hey, what should I be doing? Or is there any advice that you have? You know, when you can speak to a professional for free, there should be nothing holding you back from doing that. Whether you're planning to buy in 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, there's no reason to not make that call and just seek the information.